Hello everyone, happy Vlogmas day 7. Is that right? Yep. To check. So it is like 3 o'clock already. I'm just now coming on to say hello. Because my morning has been, or day so far has been so busy. So got up this morning, had to run to the grocery store. Mondays are when I do my weekly grocery run. My kids are at home today, so my son went with me. And just my son because my daughter had to go ahead and start school a little earlier than normal. So we rushed to the grocery store. God, he's so helpful. Both my kids. I'm so blessed. They've really stepped up this 2020. All 3 of my family members. I'm very grateful and very blessed to have such 3 wonderful people to share this house with. But anyway, ran to the grocery store, quickly bought everything, came home, put it all away because I had stuff, of course, that needed to be frozen and in the refrigerator. And then my daughter and I quickly ran out to the orthodontist because she had an orthodontist appointment this morning. My kids are both super late in losing all their baby teeth. So my daughter was only 13 months old before she got her first tooth. It was one of those points where I was like, is she ever going to get teeth? My son was 7 months old when he got his first tooth, but my daughter was not. No, she turned 1 without any teeth. So she was 13 months old before that first one finally popped through. But they've both been super slow in losing their teeth. And so they're 14, and my daughter's 12-year molars are just starting to come in. I'm not sure about my son's. He has to have a tooth pulled. It's actually a permanent tooth. So it's this tooth here. He has 2 of this tooth that have both grown in. And so this tooth is up waiting to come down, and it can't because there's 2 of this one. So one of those has to be pulled. And then he can start orthodontics. But anyway, we went today, and she's finally lost all of her baby teeth. So we are starting, we go back next week for the orthodontic plan. So I'm sure it'll be the money, how much it costs, and also kind of what his plan is for her teeth. So they took molds and stuff like that today. And then he'll come up with a plan. Neither of them have awful teeth, so I'm assuming, I don't know. He did mention today that she has a bit of an overbite, which I had a horrible overbite. She has she's always had a lot of spaces in between her teeth, which is good. It allowed her permanent teeth to come in. So she'll have a little bit of, probably have to have braces or something along those lines. Anyway, that's starting next week. So that's exciting. Who doesn't want to start orthodontics right before Christmas? And we'll probably start my son as soon as his tooth has been pulled and the permanent one grows down. We'll be starting him. So they'll probably have both of them in braces at the same time. Not ideal, but, twins, what are you going to do? So anyway, we got that done, came home. I have been answering some comments. I do still need to get onto the computer. I have to do some work on tomorrow's video, just on the computer. And then I need to answer some emails still. But I went ahead and cleaned the main floor of my house. And so it's 3 o'clock, just finished getting all that done. And then my kids come through and do all the floors, which is so nice. So my daughter did all the vacuuming of the main floor. My son did all the mopping, and everything looks phenomenal. So I just need to go put rugs back, like little, the little throw rugs and stuff need to be put back down. And I need to pull all of the chairs. You might be able to see. Oh, yep, there's my kitchen chairs. Put them out on the screened-in porch while so they can get the floors really well. Need to pull those back in. So anyway, I am feeling a little behind still. I've not taken a shower yet, and I need to wash my hair today. So I'm going to do that here next, and then start in on computer work, which is not very exciting. But I did just want to come on here and check in. I think I'm on... There's 11 rows that I have to do on the front band of this cardigan, and I think I just finished I did row 7 this morning, so I think I just have 4 more to go. 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 4 more to go. So anyway, I should have my cardigan done here pretty soon too, so that's exciting. Maybe tonight I can finish that. We'll see. Anyway, that's what I have going on right now. I will definitely share anything creative that I get a chance to do. All right, I'll check in later. Okay, today's wine is a Syrah. I also love a Syrah. This is Hero. Hero, I guess you wouldn't say the S because it's French. Vin de France. Right there, the Syrah. Let's try it. It's a good one too. I tell you, I've not had a bad one yet. Someone said that I was brave for trying a Sauvignon Blanc with not being chilled. And yes, I took a sip on the channel. Obviously, my advent calendar's not chilled, so any of the white wine's not been chilled. But then it immediately did go into the refrigerator to be chilled. And the same with the other white wine that I opened up. Actually, the other white wine I opened up the other night, I had a little bit and then used the rest of it to cook with. So we're having a lot of soups and stews that use wine because I can't drink all this. I will be one swollen mess. That is my oven. Hold on. Okay, that was bread I was heating up. I'm going to cut this short. I just wanted to do my advent calendar and really quickly just do a taste of this wine. Again, just a teeny weeny bit. I'm going to have a lot of wine left over. A lot of cooking with it. Yes, but I think that's going to be all for today. We've got to eat early so that my daughter can get to her concert. And yeah, then that's going to be away for the night. All right, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow and hopefully some sewing tomorrow. See you then. Bye. Good morning, everyone. Happy Vlogmas Day 8. So I am clearly down in my sewing room. I'm sitting in the chair. I finished my cardigan. So it's funny. I have been doing a little bit of knitting every morning. So I have my breakfast while I'm watching a little bit of the news. And then either if my kids are in home, they don't start until 8:45. If they are going to school, they have to be out for the bus at 8. So on either day, there's like a from 8 to 8:45, which is kind of some downtime, which I, do various things, but I've been trying just to use a little bit of that time for some knitting. Number one, I really want to just finish this cardigan so I can start on another project. But I've been finding knitting very fulfilling, and it's been very much, very therapeutic for me recently. Like I think I mentioned, I'm just having a hard time getting my brain calm. I just, I don't know. Someone had mentioned that when their house and space is a mess, that's when their brain gets cluttered, and I would agree with that. That's definitely me as well. Usually most of my house is usually pretty picked up. My sewing room definitely can get cluttered because it's, my creative space, and I sometimes, it can just get a little crazier than the rest of my house. But I do know that, even my sewing space, when it gets to a certain point, like I just can't create until it gets cleaned up. And actually I need to get things. I'm looking at a pile of fabric on the floor here that need to get put away. And I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. Tomorrow I think I'm going to definitely do some cleaning here in the sewing room. But today my kids are in school. I finished my cardigan. So I need some advice. I'm going to pick out a couple of buttons. I've never put buttons on a hand knitted, garment before. So all of you knitters out there, do I need to stabilize the back of the button band where I'm going to put my buttons? Or do you just sew those on with regular sewing thread? Should I use a thicker thread? What I need advice. Because I know that a ton of you are very accomplished knitters, and I've just never attached buttons to a hand knit sweater before. So, I've made a couple of cardigans, but they've been like open cardigans that haven't had buttons. But this one has buttons, 4 of them. So I'm going to put out some options of what you guys think I should use for the button on the front of this sweater. And then also if I could have any tips on what to do about securing those buttons, I'd appreciate it. So anyway, today, I've got my kids stripped their beds, and I'm washing sheets right now. But I'm going to put flannel sheets on their beds. Bless their hearts. They're both like, we're freezing. Can we have our warm sheets? So I'm going to be putting flannel sheets on the beds today. And I think I'm going to clean the upstairs of our house has 3 of the bedrooms, which are my kids' bedrooms and then the guest room. And then there's 1 full bath upstairs, and that's it. Because we have like our upstairs is not as big as our main floor of our house, if that makes sense. Our master's on the main floor. And then there's like 2-story ceilings in our living room. So there's like a kind of a catwalk type thing that looks over from the upstairs bedrooms into the living room. Anyway, so it doesn't take me very long to, is what I'm trying to get at, is it does not take me very long to clean the upstairs, mostly, and also because my kids are in charge of their bedrooms. So they do all the dusting, all of the vacuuming, picking up, obviously, all of that of their bedrooms. So right now, although it needs to come to the time where they do their own bathroom too, but right now I still do the bathroom, but it doesn't take me very long to do their bathroom, surprisingly, because it can get quite disgusting quite quickly. But I am going to go do that today, but maybe not until later this afternoon. We don't have anything going on today as far as after school activities or anything like that. My daughter had her orchestra concert last night, which of course no one was allowed to go to, so they'll be filming that. I haven't even seen the band concert from last week yet. They haven't released that video yet. Then my son has his jazz band concert next week, all without an audience, so they're just videoing them. So that'll be fun to watch when we can watch them. But anyway, so today I have a lot of filming I need to get done this week, to be honest. But I think I'm going to wait and do that, maybe some of it tomorrow. I'm going to split it up again for tomorrow, Thursday, and I have a hair appointment on Friday, which is always a good time to do some filming because your hair's all done. Just have to add makeup. And I have it done at like 9 in the morning is my appointment. So I think I may do a little filming then. But I do have filming that needs to be, I have another sponsored video going up next week. That is my last one with Skillshare that I had, there's my gal. We'll talk about her in a second too. My last one was Skillshare. So anyway, I do need to do some filming, but I think I'll wait again and do a little bit tomorrow, some on Thursday, some on Friday, to get all that done. So long story short, I'm going to sew today. I'm going to put together that Recital shirt pattern by Liesl & Co. And yeah, I'll take you guys along, and I'm going to show you the adjustments I'm going to make to the sleeve to make it more like this, well, I'll put the picture up after a little bit, the Cezanne top. I'm going to make the pants as well, but I don't have fabric for that right now, nor do I have any money in the budget at the moment to buy fabric. So that's going to have to wait until Christmas money, until I get a little bit of Christmas money in my stocking to order any fabric for the pants. So I'll wait and do the Sew My Look probably after the first of the year. But I do want to go ahead and get this shirt made up because I really want it. And I have other things I can wear it with. I just really want to recreate that outfit. And I don't have any fabric for the jeans yet. It's a lot of babble. Okay. I had a couple people ask me why my mannequin's wearing a bra. So I use my dress form really only for pressing. Like I'll press tailored garments on the mannequin, especially if it's like trying to set like a fold line or any kind of a crease like in a lapel, or, you know, getting a collar to lay really well, like on a shirt or a jacket or a coat or whatever. I like to do that on the mannequin. I also use my mannequin for letting skirts hang and also for hemming things. Anyway, I have the bra on the mannequin to make her as much my size as possible. It's like padding out your mannequin. That's why she's wearing a bra, so that her measurements better match mine for when I'm doing those kind of things. I don't use her very often, but that's why. And sometimes I forget she's back there in a bra, in one of my old bras. So that's the story behind the mannequin. Okay, so let's get to work on some sewing today. That sounds fun. I need some of that in my life today. Okay. Here she is, my finished cardigan. Clearly she's not been blocked yet, or my ends have not been like tucked in or whatever. So all of this will be nice and smooth when that's all happened. But here are the buttons I'm trying to decide from. Okay, so we've got, and sorry, the light's kind of hitting them. I've got like this big round button. I have, it's a brown button, but kind of goes red just a little bit, so definitely more nondescript. Or I've got this big gold button here. This one is kind of a heavy button. It's metallic, so I'm a little worried about it stretching out my knitted area. There's actually 4 buttonholes, but I only have 3 choices here. The other buttonhole's right here. And I have 4 of each button. This one is metal, but it's, actually it's probably plastic, but it's very lightweight. So I don't think that this one would be a hindrance. I don't know. What do you guys think? And if I do use this heavier one, should I definitely then stabilize behind where these are going to get sewn in? And I need help on that. So what do you guys think? I can't decide what to do. So there's my 3 options. Leave in the comments, and again, there's a 4th button that'll go in here, but leave in the comments your preference for which button I should use. Meanwhile, I'll get this blocked, and then it'll be ready to add buttons whenever the time comes. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so I'm working on my recital shirt by Liesl & Co. And I wanted to show you what I am doing. Okay, so I am really just altering the sleeve piece. So I'm going to pop a picture of the actual shirt that I'm trying to recreate. Now you'll notice that in the inspiration picture that she actually has a cuff on the shirt and it's just got a ruffle on the top and the bottom, which I could totally do because obviously the shirt does have a cuff. But I decided I really want to play around with some shearing, and I just like the idea of this in a blouse. This shirt also has some ruffles around the sleeve, like the sleeve seam, the arm size seam. I'm not doing that just because that would add way too much bulk to my upper body. I try to not emphasize my shoulders, but if you're someone that wants to add width to your shoulders, if you're really narrow, actually technically I am narrow in my shoulders, but because of my big bust, it makes it, it's just, yes, not something I want to emphasize. So you can kind of just play around with that on what you're comfortable with. And this shirt actually has a collar, and then there's a ruffle along the collar. And this shirt pattern also has a collar piece, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it just has the collar stand. This is kind of a tuxedo shirt is the other view. But I have instead decided to do just the ruffle neckline on this one. So it's got the collar band, and then the collar is a ruffle collar that kind of goes into the top. So my version is gonna be different than the inspiration shirt, but just a little bit. I mean, it's still gonna be a button-down shirt, and I still want a really blousy sleeve. So this one has just a little bit, I mean, it's got like a normal shirt sleeve, which has some ease, but not a ton. So what I've done first is, this is the, obviously you can see the original shirt pattern piece that's underneath my tissue paper here. And, you know, if you were sewing this as is, you would put in your placket that's here, you would use the pleats. Obviously, I'm not going to use any of that. I'm not even using the cuff pieces or the collar piece. Good gracious, the cuff pieces, because I'm going to do shearing here at the bottom of the sleeve and just leave just a little bit unsheared, so it'll give it kind of a ruffle effect. Yeah, so I need to, I'll mark those in here in just a second, but I just wanted to show you how I've altered the sleeve piece. So for most people, this sleeve piece here is 22, I think it's like 22.5 inches. And then you would take away the seam allowances, which are 1/2 inch seam allowances. And then you're at, you know, 21.5. My arm is 22 to 23 inches, depending on where you're measuring. So if you were making this shirt with a cuff, you would also obviously have like a 2-inch cuff. Long story short, I think that it comes to, okay, maybe that is different. Anyway, I think it came to, with the cuff, 24-inch sleeve, which is a typical sleeve length, which is way too long for my arm. So if I were making this as is, I would probably take 1 inch to 1.5 inches off, probably 1 inch off, to leave it at 23. So I have a little bit of ease, you know, there with the sleeve. So what I have done, obviously I'm not putting a cuff on, so you just want to be wary of that, of how much length you need to add to the sleeve piece. I have just added 2 inches to the bottom here, which gives me, get my ruler here, a total length of 23. It'll be 23.5 when all is said and done, because I'll lose 1 inch with seam allowances, which is my, actually I may add more because I would like some ease. 23.5 is actually my sleeve. I'm going to add another inch. I'm going to add at least another inch to the bottom of this. So keep that in mind. Although it's not going to, I'm just going to add it to the bottom because as you can see, I took away all the shaping in the sleeve here at the sides. I just went straight down from the underarm seam all the way down to the hem to give it a nice balloony effect. Now you could definitely, you know, cut and spread your sleeve if you want it really voluminous, but because, you know, just with my proportions, I'm really just wanting a big sleeve. It just doesn't have to be super big. So, yeah, I think I'm going to add at least another inch. Maybe, what do we have here? I may do a whole 1.5 inches. I think I cut my paper off, but I think I can get 1.5 inches. That may be too much. I'll do 1 inch. Well, but then that'll give it nice. Well, maybe I'll do 1.5 inches. Okay, that was a lot of back and forth. I'm going to add an extra 1.5 inches here to the bottom of the sleeve, just so because it will cinch at my wrist, so it won't hang over my hand. But then I have a little excess volume there in the sleeve once I've done the shearing. So there we have it. That is what I'm doing to alter this pattern, and that's really all I'm doing. Obviously, I'll be omitting the cuff and the placket pieces, but other than that, I'm making view, I think it's view A that has the ruffle collar. View B, I think, is the tuxedo style shirt. So yeah, that's all I'm doing. And I think I might shorten the shirt as well. I need to hold it up to myself to decide how much I want to shorten the body of the shirt. It just seemed really long to me. So like I would be, I mean, again, I'm short in the body. So like I would be tucking a lot in if I were tucking it in, which I would like to make a similar pair of jeans to the inspiration picture at some point. So I do want to be able to tuck it in at some point. Okay, that's all I've got. I wanted to show that to you. So now I will just time lapse. And yeah, you get to see me cutting out my fabric's different too, but it is kind of a busy print. And it's a Liberty Tonalon, so it's lovely to work with. All right. Okay, so you just saw me cutting out my recital shirt and then doing interfacing, and I just was threading my machines real quick before I go up to eat some lunch, and then I'm going to come down and start sewing. And oh my gosh, so I was rethreading my serger, which you all know how much I love to do that, and a little fluff kind of came out as I was pulling the white thread through. So I opened up, because I haven't been, when I rethread my my serger, I just tie on to the new color and pull it through. So I hadn't opened up the front of my serger clearly in a little bit, because I'd just been rethreading that way. And you all know, again, how often I like to rethread my serger. A little PSA, if you've not cleaned and oiled your serger lately, do that today. I just did that. It was awful. bless its little heart, like it's been working with all that crap going on inside. There was a lot of lint, a lot of lint. So I have a little vacuum cleaner attachment sorry, I also just, when I shut that up, shut some thread in there. A vacuum cleaner attachment that attaches to my vacuum cleaner hose that has then little bitty little attachments that I can then really get into the nooks and cranny inside my serger and sewing machine too, to suck all that out. And I just went to town on it and then oiled it. So I should have a very happy little serger now. Anyway, I just thought I would come on here and just give a little PSA that if you've not cleaned and oiled your serger for a while, just because it's not at the top of your, like not really thinking about it, do that today. You'll be glad. You'll be glad that you did. Okay, my machines are threaded. Oh, and I also wanted to show you real quick. So my, it's a bright light coming from my machine. My cover stitch machine that I got back in June, when I bought that, I also ordered a acrylic table to go with it so that I had more of a work surface so that my project could lay better on it, just a bigger surface to work with. And it was back ordered forever because plexiglass went completely, because all the businesses were buying the plexiglass dividers and everything because of COVID. And anyway, it finally came in, and I got my machine from Always in Stitches in Noblesville, Indiana, and they were so kind about checking in with me. And then they made a mistake. Anyway, they gave me my money back for the table. So they gave it to me for free, basically. So if you are in the Noblesville area, they are a fantastic quilt shop with phenomenal customer service. I would highly, highly, highly recommend them. But I just want to show you my machine, or my new table, real quick. Look at that. Look how much more room I had. So you can see like the original area there for the cover stitch. And yeah, I'm so glad that I bought this. I haven't used it yet just because I haven't done any knit projects or anything that needs the cover stitch. I was gifted some of the cover stitch, or a lot, almost probably all of the cover stitch attachments for this machine by someone, a wonderful, wonderful viewer who just wasn't using hers anymore, and send them my way. And I just need to sit down and figure out how the binder works and how all those work. I just need my work schedule to settle down just a wee bit, which of course I have control over. So I don't know what I'm waiting on. But I really want to do a video, like a more in-depth video on this machine, because I've only used it for hems so far, but I think it's got a lot more that it can do, and I'd really like to explore that. But I bought the machine, by the way. The machine was not gifted. I bought the machine myself, and then and the table, actually. I just ended up getting this extension table for free because there were some mess ups, and I've been waiting for it since June. So anyway, isn't that lovely? Like, I need one of these for all of my machines now. I mean, my industrial machine obviously is in a table, so I wouldn't need one for that. But I'm like, I need one for this machine, and I need one for that machine. Not really. I really don't use that machine much. I use it for buttonholes, and that's about it. And when I have to use a zigzag occasionally. But anyway, just wanted to show you all my newest accessory. Okay, so today is a white wine, Macabeo, maybe? This is Octopada, product of Spain, España. I have not had this kind of wine before. Let's try it. I mean, it needs to be chilled. I like all my whites to be chilled, but not bad. So this one, I will put the cork back in and stick it in the fridge. Okay, so quite a few of you, how do you score the foil to where you don't have to like peel it off? I tried to score it yesterday and today and it still did not come off. Okay, it sounds like it should be a lot easier than what I'm making it. I'm clearly not versed in taking foil off of a corked bottle of wine. Anyway, yeah, that's good. I'm gonna put that in the refrigerator and let that chill. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. So we've stopped at hemming the sleeves. So tomorrow we will shear the sleeves, insert the sleeves. I'm gonna put bias binding, I think, in 3 separate steps. I'm gonna put it on the back of the shirt, the hem of the back of the shirt, the hem of the front of the shirt on each side, because when I sew up the side seams, the way the side seams get sewn up, yeah, I think it's just gonna make sense to do it that way. I'm thinking in my head. I think that will make the best sense. And then we'll just sew our bias binding pieces together with the side seam and then hem everything up. I think that would work. This is the same way the classic shirt was, which I'm not crazy about. I wish it was just the straight side seam and then the hem could get finished off later in one fell swoop, which I guess we could probably do. It's just that she wants you to cut into the seam so that then that gets serged and then it gets hemmed up, I guess, over that cut edge. Well, that might work. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna think about that. But I am gonna hem with bias binding. So anyway, yeah, making some good. We should be able to finish that shirt pretty easy peasy tomorrow. I have more cleaning, especially cleaning in my sewing room, to do tomorrow. But yeah, I think we can finish that shirt and maybe, I think I might pull out my Romana pattern. Maybe we can get started on that next. And then I really need to work on the sew along coat. Okay. That's all I've got for today. I need to get this edited so I can get it uploaded. I hope you guys having a wonderful Vlogmas Day 8, and I will see you all tomorrow.